Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Secretary, the National School Boards Association recently released the results of the independent review into their letter to President Biden calling for the DOJ to use counterterrorism tools to investigate parents as domestic terrorists. The report, in fact, confirms that the Biden White House colluded with NSBA on the letter, which DOJ immediately acted upon to mobilize the FBI to target parents at school board meetings. The investigation also revealed that the White House used information from NSBA regarding the planned letter to include in discussions with the Department of Justice before the letter was even finalized. In fact, a week before the letter was officially sent, the White House had a detailed summary of the contents of the letter and its request for federal intervention against parents, including usage of the Patriot Act. And Mr. Secretary, the report also reveals that senior officials at your agency, the Department of Education, had been in contact with NSBA regarding, quote, concerns about the increased public activism at school board meetings as early as last July. So I want to ask you questions about your awareness and involvement in the letter. In August of last year, you participated in virtual town hall meetings with NSBA representatives. During these events, did you request that NSBA write the letter or otherwise indicate support for the letter?
I think the same report you referenced showed that there was no evidence of that. And we've been saying since day one, Congresswoman,
So is that
there
no?
is correct. That's no. And that's been the
So my
answer.
follow-up to that is,
But let me, can I finish with my response, please?
This is my time. Did you suggest in any manner that the NSBA should solicit federal intervention and resources to deal in any way with local school board meetings?
Congresswoman, I feel strongly that parents' voice does matter, and especially during the pandemic when things weren't.
But you're not answering a question, Harry. It's a question.
My understanding of your question is that you're doing exactly what I didn't want done. Let's not use this for division. We talked to over 8,400 parents.
Question about, all I'm saying is, did you suggest in any manner during those virtual town halls with NSBA that did you try to solicit any federal intervention or resources to deal with local school board meetings? It's your yes or no, and I have follow-ups.
No, there was no
Great. The report
to do that. What we wanted to do,
Mr. Secretary,
I would love to finish my responses, Congresswoman.
You answered no.
I think it's fair to give me an opportunity to respond if you're asking me a question.
You answered no. The report, in fact, stated that, quote, some evidence also suggests that you, quote, requested additional information be sent to your office on disruptions at school board meetings during the August 16th town hall meeting. What did you mean about the additional information sent, and did you in fact receive this additional information?
Are you going to allow me to answer the question?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. The NSBA, as well as other groups that are working with our families, including PTA parent groups, routinely communicate with the Department of Education as we're trying our best to be a service agency. Concerns were shared about some of the activities in some of the board meetings. And that's routine conversation that we have with different stakeholders when things are working well and what concerns that you have. That's typical practice here. As I said before, we didn't ask for any letters. We didn't ask for any information that you're alluding to. In fact, if you look at our track record, Congresswoman,
what
we've
information?
Met with over 8,400. We've met with over 8,400 parents. I've had parent groups, parent roundtables at many of my visits, and I know as an educator that parents are critical to the success of their children. They're the best partners in the process. That's why I'm fighting for full service community schools that engage parents. That's why I expected American Rescue Plan proposals have parent engagement in it. So look at our track
Mr.
record.
Secretary, I know I've hit a nerve here, so I'm going to continue asking questions. So the answer is yes, there was additional information as part of those conversations. My follow-up is, were you or any Department of Education personnel sent a copy or otherwise made aware of a summary of the letter provided to the White House on September 21st? That's a pretty easy yes or no question.
I don't have any information. I don't recall getting any letter, summary letter.
So were you made aware of the September 22nd discussion between the White House and DOJ pertaining to the letter, or, quote, options we can pursue here? Were you or any personnel at the Department of Education?
Not that I'm aware of at this point. I don't have any information on that.
So were you first and your staff first made aware of the letter on September 29th? Is that what you're testifying to today?
I can have my staff get back to you on what information we received if you'd like. If it's that important to you, let's focus on what's in the budget to help our families.
It is important. It's important to parents across the country. In fact, we do have an outstanding Freedom of Information Act request, which was sent to the department requesting all information, documents, or communications. If there's no problem providing this to Congress, why has the department not complied with this request? Do you intend to apply with the FOIA request? And what's the timeline for that?
We always do, and we want to continue to connect with families as we've done in the past. Thank you.
And what's the timeline for that FOIA, complying with that FOIA?
I'll have my staff reach out to you to give you that information. Thank you.
I see them handing you papers. I can see it on the screen. My final question is, President Biden's DOJ has in fact not rescinded the memo directing the FBI to use counterterrorism tools.
The generator's time has expired.